Okay, so I want to appreciate everybody for being here. And I want to thank all those that prayed for me, all those of you sending me messages. Last week was hell for me, but I'm strong now. I'm coming back very, very strong. And I want to appreciate everybody. Okay, I don't know why the hall or why the class is half full. We are about 8 minutes late, and we were expecting everybody to be here by now. So, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to discuss. I don't know what has been happening at your various ends. We are going to discuss that. I don't know the challenges you have been having so far. But then I want you to know that we are experiencing one of the most exciting moments in the Billion Coin community. And that moment is the time when we are celebrating our 3rd year anniversary. Tbc is 3 years old. In fact, it will be officially 3 years old this Thursday. I think that's something that calls for celebration. It has been a very wonderful journey so far. And for me, that have been here since 2016, I have had a lot of challenges. I have had a lot of people saying that it will not work from the very first day that I joined TBC. And all what I could tell them was like, watch me. So that's why I'm so happy. That's why it gives me a lot of joy, because all those challenges that came along make the journey very, very exciting. So it's a wonderful moment. It's a moment for me to look back and see some of the things that went wrong, or maybe some of the things that people did not understand, and try to bring it back and re-educate them. It's a moment for massive growth, you know. It's a moment for massive growth because it's a moment where we are preaching, or we are telling the entire world that we are officially 3 years stronger. And, you know, for any company to pass 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and going now to the 4th year, that is something powerful. I don't know how powerful you are. You are saying it, but trust me, many companies will not even make 2 years. Many companies will not even make 1 year. It's not even easy to manage a company like that, and it's still waxing strong. So I remember in 2016, the very first year, the membership went over from 100,000 members, and then later on, 2017, anyway, from 2016 to 2017, membership went over to 100,000 members, and from 2017 to 2018, which was last year, the membership went over to, last year it was approximately 2 million people. And you see, from 100,000 to approximately 2 million people, that was last year anniversary. And then we moved from that amount. We had to now, considering the admin has to start considering verified members, not just email address, verified members, because when people heard that there will be a bank, many people created a lot of fake addresses, a lot of fake email addresses were existing, and admin could not destroy his reputation. So he actually wanted us to be real people, and that's why we are also considering real people today. So we must be real members, and today we are actively 3-point-something million active people, even though the last time the admin showed the database that had 50 million people registered in the system so far. But we have just 3 million that are active. And out of those 3 million, not up to 1 million people have at least one TBC, not up to 1 million. So I think that it is a time for us to move ahead with this massive group. The other day I was chatting with our leader here, who is here, Steve Williams, and we are putting some strategies together to see how we could take TBC to the moon just after this anniversary. This is celebration week, and we are just celebrating, sharing our challenges, and looking for the way forward. And the way forward is going to be massive, because one of our main objectives will be looking at merchants, because you see, if people can actually shop with their various coins worldwide, then we have won. People will not want exchange anymore. People will not want, so I will be bringing specific trainings. We'll be doing a specific broadcast. We'll be going down to the field. We're going to meet the merchants ourselves, and I'll train the people how to even meet the merchants too, and make sure that the merchant, the truth is that the merchant, they have money. All what we need to do is just to make them to understand what we are into. And by the time we explain to them what we are and what we are not, they will just be coming around. And if we can have more merchants, coming on board, trust me, we are going to explode the entire community. So our focus as from next week will be on merchants. So it's a week to celebrate. I'm so happy. I don't know whether the members here are happy than the way I am, but I don't know. Maybe we should share our various, we should share our minds. We should talk about what this 3-year anniversary means to us, what it means to you, and what lies ahead of us. So I'll be taking, maybe I should start from Miss Judy, ladies before gentlemen. I'll start with maybe Miss Judy. Miss Judy, tell us, how are you, and what this anniversary means to you. You have to unmute yourself. Okay. Right.
Hey, good evening.
Hey, madam.
I don't know what to say, Mr. Mbe. And by the way, we are glad that you are no longer sick. And I don't know what to say. I'm just happy also. So it's really great, to see how TBC have grown. So, and it really shows that this is the real deal.
Right.
So, yeah. No, I'm just happy. I'm out of words. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, full of excitement. Okay, yeah. You're just overwhelmed. Of course, I'm just overwhelmed, but as a talkative, I'll always talk, I'm actually so much overwhelmed. Because the reason why I'm so much overwhelmed, because I actually went through the challenges. I actually went, there was a time when, I remember sometime in 2017, people had to go to the police, take me to the police. A lot of things happened. And it didn't even stop me. All those things did not even stop me from saying, though I will not do TBC anymore. It makes me to even have policemen who are my friends. I have many lawyers today who are my friends. If you come and touch my head today, you're looking for trouble. So when I look at all these combined, when I see all these combined together, it gives me a lot of enthusiasm to move forward. Yeah. Actually, I'm still so happy. Maybe I should take another person.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Okeke, he has also been here for long. Tell us, sir, what this TBC anniversary so far means to you.
Yeah, my brother, thank God to have you back.
Thank you.
I can see you're strong and bubbly now.
All right.
I greet everyone in the house. You're welcome. I'm also very, very, very much excited. I was not harassed by the police like my brother Embe. But I can tell you that a lot of people as at that time that I introduced, they called me all sorts of names. That why am I introducing them into something that is not working? You say this today, tomorrow you say a different thing, next tomorrow is a different thing. I mean,
yeah.
You hear all manners of things, all manners of insults here and there. But also, like my brother Mbe, I was not shaking. I had this kind of, how do they describe it? This kind of faith, that cannot be destroyed. Because one is that TBC was one of the that fitted into things I had passion for. And that is to put smiles on the faces of people. You know, so that's even what made me even more passionate, you know, to continue to talk about it, to continue to distribute the gift, you know. So the fact that we had gone through the first, second, third year, I mean, is massive.
Yeah.
And it's a talking point today that, I mean, if we are still standing after 3 years, you cannot say it is fake anymore. And looking at what TBC admin had established, the kind of massive structure it has built over the years, you know, that gives everybody now that kind of confidence that we are heading somewhere.
Yeah.
And we are close to where we are headed. And so I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm confident that we will get to our destination point soon, very soon.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, I'm so happy, my brother Mbe.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It's actually one of those moments where we have to take TBC to the next level. Actually, what is in my head, I wish if I put it on the ground, I don't know. What is in my head is massive. It's I can't just wait to celebrate and take TBC to the next level, because this is the time to tell the people that have abandoned for some time now, to tell them to come back home. That they come back home. The home is there waiting for them. So it's
all the orphans will come back.
Yeah, it's a moment to show them that TBC is actually what it has actually meant to be. There has been a lot of restructuring in what we have today, like our jurisdiction have been made known clearly, and that is something that has not been easy, because at one point in time, the sect in the USA was actually investigating TBC, and admin has started before that Pantera, the roads and institutions that is taking part of private society, has to come in and protect our currency. So that was something so wonderful. If not, even the Security for Exchange Commission in USA would have shut us down. But the admin stood ahead. He said that he despite all that, some people were receiving subpoenas in the USA, and after the subpoenas that they were receiving, they became the panic, and they were like, they can't do TBC again because they don't want investigation or whatsoever. They don't want following them up. But today, we have triumphed all that. Let me take Mr. Amechi from Nigeria. It is a moment to celebrate. Mr. Amechi, what does that mean to you with TBC?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We have every cause to celebrate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Mbe, you have been in police custody because of TBC.
Of course.
Good and fine. So if you have been in police because of TBC, maybe that may just be just a tip from what admin has been passing through. Agree with me? Anyway, that makes you stronger anyway.
That makes me stronger, and that makes a lot of government officials, military men and policemen, lawyers to be in TBC today. Trust me.
Good and fine. That's good of you. That's good of you. You know, we've come a long way. Here in Lagos, Mr. Okeke will bear me witness. In Nigeria, there's what we call Molue.
What's that?
Yes, Molue is a kind of boss.
Yes.
It's a big boss.
Yes.
You will see probably about 30 sitting and about 99 standing. So it's always a horrible experience to take Molue back there in Lagos.
Wow.
Yes.
You notice what therein, you find out that no matter how difficult the journey may be, some may be hanging with one of their legs inside the vehicle, just anyhow, for them to get to their destination. Okay? It's always a funny experience. So when we look at what we've gone through so far, I can say that the journey, though may not have been easy, but we are successfully moving ahead.
Right.
Okay? Yes. We see what is happening in TBC today, and that people thought TBC is going to maybe fall by the wayside. But what happened? I was discussing with a man today, though he will still join us later on today.
Okay.
It's an ex-service man. So when I went talking to TBC about him, about TBC to him, he was a kind of, what do you really mean? That, okay, if I join in and pay $10, I'll be giving 250 kringles. Look at the amount. And if I end up doing another thing, I'll be giving more. So are you really serious? And then I asked a question because it was doubtful of it. I said, okay, sir, before, if you want to make send a letter, what do you normally do? I said, I go to post office and have it posted. I said, okay. I said, how do you do the same thing today? Do you type your letter inside your phone and take it to post office? He said, am I mad? I said, okay. I said, what made that possible? He said, technology. I said, good. Technology has been making so many things possible. And if you doubt that it's going to raise you higher, that means you're just doubting what you're experiencing already. So, said and done, I contacted you earlier on today about somebody who lost his login details.
Yeah.
He had been disturbing me. Yes. Funny enough, it was one of the guys that brought me. That dragged. I usually like to use the word drag. It was one of the guys that dragged me into TBC, but along the line, they gave up. You see, but what are they saying? Are we giving up? We are not giving up.
Right.
And with what TBC is moving, we are beginning to have more people, most of those people who are down, seeing to it that it's like this is real. It's not whether it is real. We've gone beyond that level of whether this is going to work. It is already working. The issue is that, are we working it?
Right.
Are we working it? Because as for TBC, whether or not we work it, TBC is going to work. So let us put the very best and let us enjoy this meeting, please. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much, Mr. Amechi. Thank you so much for that great contribution. Let me take maybe Mr. Williams or any other person who wants to say something. Mr. Williams, tell us. I know you are very new into TBC, and you had a lot of experience in this industry, and I know that you know what it means for a company to sustain for 3 years so far and still waxing stronger like TBC that we have today. Tell us, Mr. Williams, I know that I'll be privileged enough, or I'll be honored to have you during the celebration here. Tell us, what do you think? What are your impressions for a company like TBC that has been here for the past 3 years?
Right. Good evening, one and all. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I guess that I am the new kid on the block. Having been basically 5-6 weeks in TBC. So, but for me, it is very interesting, and it is quite an accomplishment for having gone through, because, as I mentioned last week, that when you have information, you can speak with authority.
Right.
And so I took the time to go back into history to the old videos and all the publications and what happened with the SEC, because that was a critical moment for a lot of the leaders, especially in the United States. And it was a moment for TBC itself to align itself with its own goals and principles as a private community. See, to subpoena a few of the leaders for TBC to really fall in line with the concept of a private society. And so, you know, as the Bible says, all things work together for good. And so we can now stand on that foundation after being through the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission. And any company within the United States that have gone through the SEC and came out on the other side, it is a medium and a means for celebration.
Right.
And so having gone through that, and I also listened to a gentleman who I think is one of the legal advisors for TBC. He spoke about, he was actually the founder of the Pantera de Oro Society, and what that means for us. Because what he's trying to say that the Kringle Society, we are not a public society, we are a private entity. And because we are a private entity, that we are self-governed.
Right.
We are self-governed. And that is why they said if there is any arbitration, if there is any legal conflict among members, the Kringle Society, the community to which we belong, has its court, and it owes no, it is under no jurisdiction but its own. It is self-governed. And so we need to know that we belong to a society that it is self-governed, it has its own jurisdiction, it has its own treasury, it can create its own treasury. And so we need to understand the ramification of this, because if our eyes are really open to what TBC has provided for us, it will blow our mind. And so what TBC is saying, I have created a platform for a community of human beings who self-govern themselves with the private medium of exchange using the Kringles. And so when you said that your emphasis will be on merchants, you better believe that the secret to our success depends on the merchants. And not only the merchants, but the suppliers of the merchant. Let's say a manufacturer that manufactures cars, and they are accepting Kringles for 100% of the car. It means that the dealer can sell it to us at 100% Kringles. Right. And so we need now to focus not only on the front line shops that you see that can only offer you a 20 and a 50% because they have to provide fiat to get it from their supplier. But if you can target the supplier that manufacture itself, that they produce it at 100% TBC, then I think our faster. All right. So basically, that's just my contribution, and I am grateful for people like you, Mbe, because you are the foundation, and we are now riding on that legacy that was created, because it wasn't created overnight. And sometimes we fail to give that, but we need to identify persons who have stood the hard times, and that when rewards and acknowledgement are being spoken about, you know, you and those who are in the foundation, you know, you deserve to be appreciated. You deserve to be awarded, and you deserve the benefits that will come now and, you know, thereafter. And as you rightly say, there are 85% of companies that born died within their first 12 to 24 months of operation. And that is scientifically proven, that 85% of companies go down within their first year of operation. And so to have 3 years and still, and growing stronger, may I say, because the numbers are growing stronger. And so I'm just happy to be able to join you guys at this juncture. And you will get people like me who will come in and to help the structure to take it to another level, because I can only look at another level.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that great contribution. And I want to add really quick here that for those that don't know about the Kringle Private Society or the jurisdiction, you can just log into your Kringle Cash back office, and you come where you have I think where you have education. You come where you have education. You click on private, and you are going to have this person here. But before he start talking, it's very important for you to know the importance of this private society and the meaning of this logo. Is very, very important, because if you look critically in here, many people will be asking that what is the use of this, right? What is the use of this logo, and what are the various meanings? It's very important for those that don't yet know about it and who are coming in for the new. If you look here, you realize that we have the earth, we have trees, we have the world where we live, and we have this. All this stands for abundance. All this is a sign of abundance, guys. And the abundance where we live in, the abundance where God has actually created and given to us. This is it here. And if you look critically, we have dolphins. This is a fish, right? Dolphins is one of the most peaceful fish that you ever found in the sea. So it's very peaceful, and that's why you see it here. The admin is using it here as as a sign of peace, if I can put it that way. Now, if you also look critically here, you will see that we have here amare e raverare. That, I think that should be, I don't know if it should be Portuguese or Brazil language or something, but it is showing that love and respect, which is the base, which is the fundamentals of where we rely on. Whatever we are doing or whatever you are doing in the community, the foundation should be under love and respect. That's why you will have it carrying. That's why you have this in below our logo. So most of the official stuffs that our TBC will be carrying, you always see this. You always see this, and you should be knowledgeable enough to explain all this, because people will be asking the private society or the Kringle Society, what is it all about? What does the logo stands for? You should be able to explain all this logo. And then you can now listen to Ken Cousin, which is the CEO of Pantera de Ho, who is a legal advisor and somebody who has been in the legal field for more than 30 years. You can read his biography on Google or on even on YouTube. He has a lot of videos there explaining a lot of things about the private society. I've learned a lot from him. He has a lot of things that he always explains to people as a human being, how you can live in peace and free yourself from the public jurisdiction. He has a lot of explanation there. I don't want to go to all the details, but it's very, very, very important what he's saying here, because once you listen, he has been in this field for many, many years. So you can listen to him later on and understand him. He has a university. He has I think, Gamestone University, that he also teach people about private jurisdiction and all that. It's a whole lot. It's a whole package. So for all those that are still coming new, you should know that we are well structured. TBC is so much structured that nobody can just shake us like at first, where anybody can just do any kind of thing. We have made our intention very clear. As a private society, you know, when there is something people don't understand. When they talk of something being lawfully accepted, it is higher than just being legal. It is higher than being legal, because when you talk of legality, they will start asking you which country has legalized that. But we are talking of lawfully. Lawfully is above legality, right? TBC is above legality. It means after lawfully falls under the creation. It falls under God. It's above legality. So we are above legal. So we are lawfully accepted as a human being. We have maybe I should say consignment. We have decided to consign among ourselves to say that this is what we want and this is how we want to live our life and doing transaction. This is what we want to do. So that is lawfully accepted. It's lawfully accepted. We are a community of people that have decided to accept Kringle to do our own transaction, and we shall never cross past the public jurisdiction, because there will be a problem if you want to now live from public or private to public. No. So we'll always operate as a private entity, right? And in that way, nobody or no institution can just come to disturb us. So if you are coming here for the very first time, or for those that will be listening to this video, they should know that we are lawfully accepted. And that's why you always see the admin saying that lawfully accepted. Okay? Don't use the word legality. Legality is smaller. It's smaller. But when you say lawfully, for those who are professors here and they have read law, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. So lawfully is stronger than just being legal. Okay, I hope that is clear as far as our jurisdiction is concerned. So, yes, sir, you want to say something?
Yes, no, what I just want to re-emphasize the terminology that we are a private community, and that is why it's now labeled the Kringle's Private Society.
Yeah.
Therefore, under the Pantera Dioro model of society, we are self-governed. Right. And it is very important to understand that no country has jurisdiction over a private society.
Yeah.
It is very important to understand that we are self-governed. Hence the reason that the structure must have a court. It must have its own treasury. It must have its own rules and bylaws.
Yeah.
That dispute that may arise from time to time can be settled within the ambit of the structure that governs a society. And that is why it is very important to know that none of us own the Kringles. no one person owns the Kringle. The Kringle is owned by the community.
Right.
Just like your CFA, your currency in your country doesn't own by anybody. That is why the government at any time can seize the bank or can tell you, you cannot take out this amount, you can only take out this amount. It is very important that we understand the private and public concept. And as a private society, we cannot offer the coins as securities. And I think that is what the SEC was after, TBC, to try to prove that we were offering securities, you see, because a lot of the cryptocurrency out there, initially, they offer you as what we call it, initial coin offering.
Yeah,
and when you're doing initial coin offering, it means that when you are registering, you are actually investing in a coin.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
And so that coin has to be backed by something.
Right. Right.
So it is very important. I know it's a bit technical language, and
no, it's very important
to say. You have to.
It's very important for them to get it here because they are going to meet people. They are going to meet people that will be coming up. We have a lot of knowledgeable people outside there, and they'll be coming up to ask them these questions concerning our private society. So
yes,
just go ahead, please.
Right. So it is very important to understand that the Kringle is not backed by gold, even though the admin equates the registration of 4 grains of gold to $11 or $10. When you peg a currency to something, it is different than if it is backed by something.
Right.
It is 2 different things. Because, in other words, if you notice, the gold prices always slightly keep going up, slightly keep coming down.
Yeah.
And that is what you see with the Kringle. There is no big jump and there is no big dips, because the goal is very steady. And so the TBC is pegged to membership and pegged to the grain of gold. And so it is different than when you say that you are backed, because you must have, when you have a security instrument, it must be backed by something. Yeah. And that is why when you take things on, when you take a company public on the stock exchange, that stock that you're buying, you're trading, has to be backed by something.
Right.
And so the Kringle coin is backed by its members. It is backed by the strength of its membership. Hence the reason I look forward for the day when there is 100% utilized within the community, because that is when we are going to be really experience the benefits of the Kringle right now, when we do not have to think about when a bank is coming to rescue us, to deposit the Kringles in turn for fiat. No, we want to look beyond that day when in the community, by the way, because once the bank comes in the community, it means that he or she has to be utilized by Kringles only. And so whoever comes on the platform, whoever comes in the platform, it is very important that we understand. So if you have a manufacturer, let's say of toilet paper, or of Colgate, or perfume, or lotion, if you can get a manufacturer that will accept 100% TBC, it means that all the stores that that are now taking from that manufacturer, and it is also a challenge now for us as divisions leader to begin to manufacture things that we can offer to our members.
Right.
100% TBC. Pay our workers 100% TBC. When we get to that level where we pay 100% for labor, when we manufacture 100% for TBC, then we can say, thy kingdom come and his will now be done.
Amen. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much for that great clarification, because, you know, I sometimes tell the people that I'm very sure that if the banks are even here with the current financial crisis, that the global financial crisis that is going on so far and what is coming so far, it will be a great chaos. It will be a great chaos. But at least we have TBC that can stand by as an alternative should in case any crisis arise, should in case anything take away your money from the bank. Look at the other day, we were in our group and we were sharing images from Venezuela, how people are using their currency, they are sweeping the streets, a lot of currency everywhere. So imagine if that happens in each of our countries here. That is chaos, where money will have no value if you don't have alternatives. So I think it's high time for us to educate. And in the community, we have a lot of people who are producers, they are doing a lot of things. They're doing a lot of things. And they can, once they start accepting TBC for their various production, their partners too will accept TBC. And that's how it's a chain reaction. It's a kind of chain reaction.
Yes.
But the people will definitely need what? The people will definitely need education, because we already have the most important tool. And what is those tools that we have? Or maybe I should say the most important element. The most important element is the community, which we have already. And when a manufacturer is producing, his objective is to sell out there. And once he has a market, he has no reason not to not to go to the where there is the market. So we have the market. So what we do now is just to move to the various merchants, like Steve said, the suppliers, and be bold enough to meet the CEOs, be bold enough to present it to them for them to understand what we are, who we are, what we are going to, and what we can help them to achieve so far. It's a 50-50 kind of thing, you know. So we are almost at the end of this program for today. I'm sure that we have learned about our private society, and also, you know, when we are saying that you don't actually own the Kringle, but you have control over it. You can use it. You know, you don't own anything, but you have you don't own anything, but you have control over much. Right? You have control over much. What you have here, what we are using today, you own just small. You own just small, and you have control over little. But but with our Kringle society, you don't own anything, right? You don't own anything, but you have control over the abundance of it. That's interesting. That's so interesting. So we should look at TBC that way. Once you look at it that way, you can actually take it to the next level. And trust me, we really want to take it to the next level. It's celebration moment. We'll talk about a lot of celebration from now to Thursday, because on Thursday we are going to have a live broadcast at 5 p.m. Cameroon time. That's the same time we are having send button meetings, and we are going to celebrate with the cruise winners. And you know what? I'm just thinking, Steve, maybe with this program, with this training that we are doing, maybe sometime next year, this training or this group, this little group, can take a trip to the Caribbean. How about that? Or maybe maybe somewhere in South Africa, or maybe somewhere in Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe in Cameroon. But I think that we are already building one big family, and why not take it to another level when next year, when we are about to celebrate? So we are learning, and when the time we start making the money big time, let's take a trip somewhere. How about that?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right on the ball. So I think that should be the mindset. Let's take a trip. To Asia. I don't know. But as you say,
we just go to Dubai.
Or what?
Or maybe we'll just take a trip to Dubai.
Out to Dubai. Okay. Well, you see, I'm from the Caribbean. I have been to South America. I have I've almost exhausted all the countries in the Caribbean. To North America. So for me now is Asia, and Australia, those places.
All right, but we want to come to the Caribbean where you are, so that you take us to the wonderful beaches that we have around there.
If you come to my country, you will not want to go back. You will not want to go back.
If I don't go back, the Tbcans will come and fetch me out there.
No. You see, the good thing about TBC, you can operate from any part of the globe.
Right.
We are global.
Yeah, with the internet, everywhere we are, we can actually work. So
yes.
That is so fantastic. Amechi says that you are making great point there. That would be great. Of course, that would be great. Let's work together to see that by next year we have built a community, or this group should raise to 10,000. My objective is for us, by the time I'm reaching my 90th training, we should be at least 10,000 here. So guys, let's work harder. Let's see into it that from now to December, with this training, we must have achieved one of our objectives. We should be having a cash flow. We should be making money daily. We must have learned a lot. Each and every one of you must have built his or her own group of people that they are training to, and help them to duplicate, which is one of the objectives in the Billion Coin community, duplication. So I think that might be that for today. If somebody is not having anything to say.
And so, leader, what I will also recommend is that, because I have already identified a place here in Douala. I know you're in Douala, that training can take place. And so that is what we need to do as leaders now. Now that we have the training, it's time for us to duplicate ourselves. Right. And so, because as I said before, you cannot meet a target if you do not have, if you have not set one.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure we'll be meeting any of these days, and then we'll have a lot to discuss. Guys, we are taking TBC to the moon, me and Steve. Cameroon, out of Cameroon, we have a huge plan for TBC, and we are so excited. I am full of energy, and I know that I'm going to transmit this energy to you guys in your various locations so that you can take it to the higher height. So that is the plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is that for today. I want to appreciate all of you for being here. We look forward to have you again on Wednesday, same time, as we keep on celebrating our 3rd year anniversary. Okay, stay blessed, and God willing, see you again on Thursday. Bye now.
Thank you, Mr. Mbe.
Bye.